Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
B19, working security at a hospital. Not a great neighborhood, so I get to carry my gun, which basically made the job for 19-year-old me. Mostly patrolling the exterior and general property to make sure no one's skulking or trying to break and enter for ingredients or straight drugs. Maybe 11 p.m. or so. Get told through the walkie by my boss to check out the south wall, at the far east corner of the south wall. Apparently, one of the patients saw something out her window and is making a fuss. Usually that means junkies trying to break in. Walk down the outer wall to see if anything's broken. One of the fire exit doors is open. Not unusual, as those doors don't have handles on the exterior and have to be shimmed open. So why not a part where no lights are on or people inside? Old, dead part of the hospital section slated to be renovated into something eventually. Cue Mission Impossible music. Breach and clear. Tactical roll. Drop my flashlight. Find out through trial and error that it works, so long as I tap the ever-living shit out of the thing. Turns the dead hallway into a techno rave with my light flashing and flying all over. Effective. Maybe it will tweak them out and I won't get shot for some forgotten 3-decade-old morphine. Notice amongst my personal rave that a kid ran by one of the cross-sections. Chase after him, slapping my flashlight like a spurg. Running in circles, essentially, but close enough behind I can see him turn the corner. Run for maybe 3-ish minutes, peel a corner. Catch a flash of a shit ton of feet wearing slippers, then my light goes entirely dead. No. Run my ass in the opposite direction, because I'm not being beaten to death by a gang of 12-year-olds. Pop into a room and slam the door. See this weird closet. Windows are panes which usually don't open because burglars. So it's jump through old glass that'll shatter into 1,000 pieces and cut me up, or the rusty foot locker thing. It's actually an old locker. Even has a code in it. Hop in. Have to grab the coat hook on the door to close it. The second it closes, the room outside lights up. The locker instantly gets pushed around. Hold that coat hook for dear life. Last maybe 30 seconds before the locker tips over and my ass plops out. Sunshine outside the window. Okay, don't panic. Panic. Wildly flail at my walkie, get the morning hour shift supervisor. An angry guy telling me to stop crying and he'll come get me. He starts questioning me, asking what graveyard shift is doing at the hospital at 10 a.m. Nervously check my watch, says 11:37 p.m. Panicky flail my watch at his face. More crying and panic. Tells me to sit still. Walks off and talks on his walkie. Distinctly hear another incident. More talking I don't really remember, because I'm losing my shit at all the cuts I got from tumbling around. Suddenly he's back, slaps me in the face, hands me $100 and tells me to not talk about this shit, or he'll feed me my gems. Only go back in the next day to pick up my last paycheck and quit. Nightmares for weeks of being inside that locker, getting shaken like a 3-year-old's goldfish. Still no idea why I didn't think of my gun and light them up. Even if it only had a 7-round mag and there had to be 30 pairs of feet.
Been working at smoke shops most of my adult life. First place I ever worked was a mom and pop type brick and mortar store that was established in the late 50s before the area it was in was developed like it is now. Easily the oldest existing structure for miles. Not really nope, but some weird stuff. Worked there 7 years in total. Some weird happenings. Front door constantly slamming shut, and roughly 30 seconds later, the door behind the register that leads into the lounge opens wide. Speakers connected to the radio tuner would randomly turn to religious sermons. Occasional random motion sensor, triggering for no reason, had app for cams on my phone. Heavy temperature fluctuation. Shit being clearly arranged a different way than I had left it the night before. TV in the lounge turning itself on and volume up usually happen after the door thing. Occasional rapid, loud pounding on the lounge door around the back. Certain customers left after feeling unwell after being in the store a few minutes. Turns out my boss was a regular customer of the original owner, and he said he knew about that stuff but wanted me to see it for myself so he didn't seem crazy. Turned out Charlie, the original owner, was heavy-handed, so often slammed doors without meaning to. Listened to religious sermons on the radio in the mornings before opening the store. Was hard of hearing, so would turn the TV up really loud when watching. And all the customers who felt unwell were customers Charlie didn't like dealing with. The regulars at the lounge just started getting used to it. We'd just say, "Hey, Charlie," and it would stop soon after.
Bored at home one day. Christmas break. But can't do jack shit with anyone because a blizzard's happening. Apparently cold enough to kill in 10 minutes due to wind chill, plus 6-ish feet of snow. Know my poor 13-year-old body won't survive the hike to my buddy's house where I'd get snowed in. Walk around the house aimlessly. Remember the walk-in closet in the addition. Remember all the good times I had in there as a kid building a fort. Remember Dad's old records and the player in there. Walk upstairs and through the master bedroom. Walk in. Only has a light switch inside. Open the door to pitch black, minus a bit where the light shines past me. A distinct pair of eyes staring back at me from the shaded area in the hanging clothes. Nope. Slam the door and pull the bookcase nearby down so hard, I pull out the wall anchors. Can hear pounding at the door, already pushing the bed in front of the door. Scrape the floor to shit doing all this. Backtrack through the bedroom. Slam the door. Move a nearby shelf in front of it as best I can. Flip a couch over at the bottom of the stairs. Sprint to the downstairs closet and grab Dad's skeet gun. Spend the next 6 hours for my parents to work their way home in my makeshift pillbox with a gun I didn't even know wasn't loaded. Parents call the police, and Dad loads his gun before taking his spot to wait for said police. Finally get shit moved out of the way. The door's interior is scratched to shit, and it looks like a tornado hit the walk-in. Find nothing inside the walk-in. Dad braves the elements to buy new door handles with locks for every door inside the house. Hear definite scratching outside my window all night, audible over the shitstorm outside.
Last year, maybe early November. Around 2 or 3 a.m. couldn't sleep, so I was screwing around with art on the laptop, half lying on the couch in the dark, periphery vision completely black from the bright screen. Hear slight tapping on the glass balcony door. Live in an apartment. Ignore it at first, but it gradually gets stronger, more determined. Kinda windy, and I figure our little metal clothes hanger has been knocked over. Begrudgingly get up and walk over to the balcony door. Open the fly screen door and flick on the outside light at the same time. Through the glass door I see a half-naked man standing on our balcony, looking in, probably in his 40s, balding at the temples, beard scruff, crow's feet. Seriously only wearing his tidy whities. I'm on the 3rd floor. What? I step back, stunned. Would have laughed if I weren't so shocked. The dude gives this cheesy grin like he'd just pulled his ultimate prank, calmly walks over to the railing and carefully climbs over, disappears into the night, and I haven't seen him since. Didn't bother calling the fuzz because Aussie cops can't do anything without evidence. Strangest moment of latter 2016 for me. I did have one night before that where, in the middle of the night, some guy was calling my name from the street. Obscured by the trees, but I'm pretty sure it was the same guy. Probably got my name and apartment number from my mail. Needless to say, there's a padlock on the letterbox now.
I work at a homeless shelter up here in Canada. Quite a few people have died. usually of natural causes or due to alcohol poisoning or overdosing. Though we have had 2 murders occur in the 5 years I've worked there. Got a few stories to share. Be me. 22 years old. First month of work, working 12 to 8 a.m., around 3 a.m., working alone with security. We now work in pairs of 3, 2 workers and 1 security. On my laptop, watching Starship Troopers. Take my earphones out to go for a smoke. Hear a sudden and forceful slam on the counter for the half door. Hear a deep voice that grated my ears like sandpaper scream at me. "What do you think you're doing?" Nearly shit my pants. Look at the doorway. No one. The security guard is still asleep. All the clients are still asleep. I'm the only one that heard it. Managed to keep myself calm the rest of the night and went to talk to my boss that morning. Apparently, the turnover rate for the job is pretty high because shit like this happens semi-regularly. I've tried to capture crap like this on camera or with audio recordings, but either the shits are shy or just want to screw with me. Another one. Most of the stories are pretty mundane. That is, shit getting knocked over or the ghosts whispering the time in my ear and then laughing. So I'll just share the more exciting ones. Pick is the layout of the shelter, so this story makes more sense. Be me. 24. Pay is really good for the city I live in, so I've decided to work through spooky shit. Boss genuinely surprised I'm still working. Literally the longest working person down in the basement. Yeah, the shelter was in the basement, no windows either. Had a vent system and a pipe leading directly outside from the dryer. Boss gives me extra hours to train new people, working 12 to 8 a.m. with her, showing her all the cleaning products we use and how to and where to use each of them. Give her a brief tour of the basement while we do bed patrol. I'll do the next patrol myself, anon. I should get used to doing it myself. Pretty sure she doesn't like me. Shrug. Sit in the office for about an hour. Now 2 a.m., hand her a flashlight and tell her to call me on the walkie if anything happens. Pretty sure she rolled her eyes at me. She heads out and does patrol. Go back to watching some movie I can't remember. Have one earphone off. Sudden call on the walkie. Anon, are the clients allowed to be showering at this time? Da fuck. Tell her no. Well, someone is. Grab my flashlight and head over to the new girl. She points at the men's bathroom. Knock on the door. No response. Just the sound of the shower. Doesn't actually sound like anyone's in it. Knock again. Still no answer. Pull out my keys and unlock the door and open it. The bathroom is pitch black. Can literally see nothing despite shining my flashlight inside. Suddenly, a pair of bright yellow eyes appear in the pitch black before the door slams shut. Hear a loud growling sound followed by the same voice from the office 2 years ago. Shut the fucking door. The girl screams and literally takes off out of the emergency exit door, setting off the alarm. Clients all waking up now due to the alarm going off. I'm literally frozen in place due to fear. Think I would have pissed myself if I hadn't used the bathroom a little while before she went off on patrol. The fire department comes down. Managed to regain some composure. Tell them it was a false alarm. Hear the shower go off and the bathroom door slowly open. Can see inside perfectly fine now. Told my boss about what happened. Had a literal cleansing done on the building. Not that it helped. The activities actually increased in frequency for about a month after the cleansing, but went back to normal after. My boss resigned about a week after they started picking up. Scary shit seemed to start spilling out into the offices upstairs and freaked her out. Don't know exactly what went on up there, but I heard a few people talking about some dark, misty shit with yellow eyes. Call Yellow Eyes Bob because he's a fucking asshole.
Be me, working in a small call center in a large building with 2 female co-workers. 9 p.m. Rest of the building empty. Hear a noise not far from the entrance into our room. Nobody should be here, but other people have keys. Decide to check it out, 'cause the girls are spooked. Look out the door into the larger area of the building. See legs and feet turn a corner. No face visible, as I just caught the edge of the person. Grab a metal bar from a cubicle. Follow to see who it is, feeling a little uncomfortable. See the back of legs again, walk into a one-entrance, empty room. Enter the room cautiously, ready to accidentally assault an innocent IT guy. Nobody there. Nope out and head back to the call center floor. As I approach the room, I see the back of the legs entering it. Lights in the call center shut off. Girls shouting trope. I run into the room and flick the lights back on. Nobody else in the room other than the girls. Anon, you scared the shit out of us. Explain to them what happened. They thought I flicked the lights off, then back on to scare them. Lesson learned. I should stop joking about paranormal shit, because nobody will believe me if something really happens.
B-17. My 3 friends and I took it upon ourselves to go urban exploring. We searched online and found an abandoned summer camp that was literally a 15-minute walk from our friend number 3's house. Being the wimp that I am, I had no intention of going to an abandoned summer camp at night. Awesome, I thought. We can go and take pictures and hang out in the daytime. We did not go in the daytime. Night fell as we pumped each other up for what was ahead, telling spooky stories and shit and guessing what was in the place. But we had a little issue. We knew the place was owned and on some days even guarded. We needed someone to scout ahead, and it sure as shit wasn't gonna be me. No, sir. Friend number 1 takes a walkie-talkie, and the crazy bastard runs up the muddy trail alone. We get a buzz on the walkie-talkie, and he reports in. No guards. Good to go. As we make our way to meet him down the main trail, we hear a weird metal clunk. Shit spooked me, but I ain't no bitch in front of the fellas. We press on as the sound isn't heard again. Thank God. Meet the others and do our thing. Explore the musty art building and smash old records. Leave and explore the grounds more. I tripped over a big-ass stick. Bad night vision. As we made our way to the main building, we noticed a broken-down school bus to our right about 50 feet away. I pointed it out and made a joke that I can't remember, but I'm sure it was a side splitter. Then we heard the clunk again, coming from the bus. We shake it off and continue on our quest. The main building had 3 floors and a shit ton of stuff in it. Apparently the place had just up and shut down one day. Board games still had pieces on them. Old CRTs were still plugged in. Record players with the needle dropped on some old Christian folk. It was so surreal. It was like we had entered a dusty portal to the 90s. Learned that day that breaking glass is pretty satisfying. Buddies are done having fun and watching friend number 2 hit things with a baseball bat, and I agree. We leave and begin heading back to buddy number 3's house. It's just a 15-minute walk. What could go wrong? As we are trotting down the main trail, recounting the cool shit we saw and cracking jokes, we hear a faint clunk. The sound was about 40 feet away, over some small mound left of the trail we were on. I had never heard a sound like it, and I stay and listen. It was like a Well, it was like a big resounding mechanical clunk. Swear to God, that's the best I got. Friend number 3 was nervous and went ahead back to his place, which looking back is totally explainable, but didn't really register with me at the time. Friend number 2 and friend number 1 begin listening closely as we all try to figure out what the sound is. It kept repeating and making that awful noise. Me and number 2 are speculating as I hear the familiar sound of scree sliding under someone's foot as they break into a sprint. I look forward down the trail and see the back of number 1's shirt as he runs full speed down the trail. What the fuck, dude? Friend number 1 says something along the lines of what a wuss and keeps listening while I chatter. Clunk, clunk. I will never forget his face as his eyes widened and the look of genuine flight response fear overtook him, which I think is rare to see these days. He grabs my tee and pulls me pretty hard. "We gotta book it, dude. Let's go," he whispers. "Why you pulling on me, dude? It's just a sound. Chill out." Number 2 slaps the shit out of me. My glasses go flying. Jinkies.jpg. I literally can't see without my glasses. Kinda miffed, so I focus on the sounds, still curious. I'm dumb. Very, very dumb. I finally realized why they were freaking out. The clunking was getting louder. No, it was getting closer. By this time, number 2 had also ran away. In my mind, this was the part where I die. I'm not that great at I Spy, but I swear, I found my glasses in about 0.05 seconds. I ran like I had never ran before. It was actually kind of impressive. Get back to base, yell at number 2 and slap him back. Eye for an eye and all that. We all revel in how we cheated death and talk for a few more hours. Yada yada, play video games, fall asleep.
Be me. Mid-2000s, working a security guard job in a huge facility. Working nights. The building is clear. I set trip alarms for all doorways and major hallways. Theoretically, I can watch TV, play games online without any trouble because if someone breaks in, the alarm will signal me. 2:30 a.m. Concourse East wing trips. Check cameras. Nothing. Go inspect. Nothing. Walk back to my office. Headed down the hallway and 50 feet away is my window with the lights on. Something is rummaging through my office. I don't have a weapon, so I hide in the janitorial closet with the door cracked to watch. Whatever is in my office is transparent. I blink my eyes and rub them to make sure I am seeing what I am seeing. I open my eyes and a large, blurry, transparent mass is quickly moving down the hall to my location. I shut the door quietly and quickly. The door starts vibrating quickly and violently, and a loud buzzing noise erupts. I grab my ears and drop to the corner of the closet, knocking over brooms and mops. I open my eyes and remove my hands from my ears. The door is wide open, and 3 cleaners are crouched down with their hands on me. "Anon, are you okay?" What time is it?" 7:30 a.m. "Are you okay?" Nope.jpg.
Be 17-year-old me, living in central Pennsylvania, a shut-in who plays video games most of his free time. Browsing the web, see about Pennhurst Asylum, an old asylum supposedly closed down for abusive experiments on the patients. Supposed to be crazy haunted, standard urbexing fare. Find a photographer who doesn't just show pictures of the place. He details the path to get there without tipping off the guard to discourage dipshit teens. He just specifies one important thing. Do not be there after dark. Apparently the spirits there get rather violent. Think this sounds rad and want some decent memories post-graduation. Hop in my car and go on a Saturday around 1. Parents don't know. They're just glad I'm getting out of the house. Arrive, park about a mile down the way. Take a long route through the woods. Stumble through briar patches. Get there. Get inside one of the buildings, sneaky beaky like. Looking around. Coolest shit a shut-in, sheltered me had ever seen. Place was trashed. Occasional tags. Exploring buildings, snapping pics with a cheap camera I brought. Great time. Sunset. I brought a flashlight, was a staunch teen atheist, and liked Halloween. I wanted to stay. Darkness falls. I explore freely. The site said the guard left after dark. Exploring the Mayflower building, looking in some of the upstairs rooms. Feel a cold breeze. Figure it's the many broken windows. Think I hear a voice. Turn around. Figure it's my mind playing tricks on me. I'm in a room with a cheap old office table, a few broken chairs, and 2 old filing cabinets. Check in one cabinet, when suddenly my hairs all stand on end. Immediately after, the table hits me in the back of my head. Windows shut down, tone.mp3. Hit the ground, seeing white flashes of light. Think I hear movement around me. Don't see shit. Recover, lurch up and stumble out to the road. Think I hear a voice. Sprint the mile or so to my car. After the initial freak out, calm down and start thinking of it as a neat memory. No longer a staunch atheist, though. Come home. Realized I lost the camera in the confusion. Told Mom I lost it hiking. She bought it. Tell my friends. Cool kid in the group for a few weeks. B, 21-year-old me, a year and a half ago. Halloween tradition with me and my friends to go to a haunted house. One figures out that Pennhurst got bought and turned into an attraction. They want to see it too. Decide to all go. We go, have a great time. Get to arguably the main attraction of the place. Self-guided tour of the Mayflower building. I missed this on the site. I'm getting nervous. My friend convinces me to go with them anyway. Go in. Recognize the first floor. See they've boarded off the second floor. Ask a worker why. I'm actually not sure. They just did. Sorry. I'm okay with this .jpeg. All in all, shit attraction. Finish up. Go back to the courtyard. Friends are discussing what to go through next. Look back at the Mayflower building at the second floor. There's a face. There's a face in the window. It's looking at me. It's grinning at me. Not the whoo scary movie serial killer grin. The I remember you, you piece of shit grin. I'm rooted to the spot, just staring at it while it grins at me. Realize my friend's been yanking my sleeve. He tactfully suggests we head back to the car and go home. He was the only one who really believed me and didn't think it was just a cool story when I was 17. Find out later I'd gone white as a sheet and they'd accidentally left me behind while I stood stock still for about 10 minutes. And that's the last time I went to that place.
Work for Geek Squad. An old lady comes in with her laptop since it's not acting right. Look at it. See she has a common infection. Looking to see if anything else is going on with the laptop. Midway, she starts to tell me about how the Illuminati are gathering good Christians and taking them to 47 guillotines in Pennsylvania. Lol, okay, you're covered since you have one of our plans. She leaves. I take the laptop back for one of the techs. Later in the day, one of the techs tells me to look at something. I go in the back and he has some file open on her laptop. He found an off-folder name and was checking it out. It's a map of Pennsylvania with little X's on it and rune-looking stuff. I tell him about what she said, and we have a good chuckle. Call her sometime later that her laptop is cleaned and ready for pickup. Before I hang up, she says, "You have seen it now, and now you're part of it." Nope. Set the time for her pickup to when I'm off work. Come in the next day and the laptop was still there. She never came in to pick it up. It sat there for about 6 months or more. I transferred to another store, so I'm not sure if it's still there. I do wonder what happened to the lady. I still think it was a huge troll, but still.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel, as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.